It's a really nice way to go out on a trail ride. If you did 8 hours of sitting trot on an English horse, you'll erode parts of you that don't need to be eroded. These horses, however, we use a different series of paces. So if we can just demonstrate how we can come together, I'll show you the jog. Well, Brazil and Uno will go away and show you the jog. For those of you that don't know, the horse being largely originally a predatory prey animal means that it has a flight system of responses. It means also that their heart is not responsible for all their circulation, which is why we don't have round horseshoes unless the horse has got a specific foot problem. Each time they put their foot down, the heel expands, pulls blood into the leg, and pumps it back up the leg again when they pick their foot up. It means within their stride, they have a jog and also a lope that are sustainable from just the mechanics of the legs. So they're sustainable for hours and hours and hours at a time without the horse becoming puffed out, sweaty, tired, and you get carried a lot further than walking. The Western system developed around working with cattle and riding a lot longer distances than here in England, where you work cattle more with dogs and on foot, having a smaller area. If you had a farm of 25,000 acres, though, I can tell you it's much nicer to ride around it than to walk.
We've got a raffle going on there at the moment.
All the skills that we use so that the horse is ready and happy to work in a group. They're also happy to work as individuals. At any time, you could be having a conversation with your friends and then being asked to go off and do something else entirely. Now, being out in the middle of nowhere, if you guys want to come in and talk here, there's one thing that is an advantage to a Western horse. You might be out in the middle of nowhere, like Surrey. Say you're out in Chopham Common, and heaven forbid, you've dropped your phone. What do? Now with a Western horse, you can get off, and yeah, there's no post or there's no little bit of baling twine to tie your horse to. So the best thing to do is just leave it there and go off and do whatever you need to do. Now for those of you going, oh my God, she dropped the reins. In Western riding, that's perfectly acceptable. Should I clip it? Anybody else? Here you go. And it's very handy to have a horse that it means I could go off and have tea or a coffee or some lunch, fix a fence, order more pizza, and my horse would still be here, hopefully. It's very useful. Well, ground tying is a very, very useful thing. And any of you that got horses, how many of would you trust to throw your reins on the floor and walk away? But this is what it's practical. You don't necessarily have the same little things that you have available when you're in England that you do when you're out in the middle of nowhere. Now, as I said, these horses will work as individuals, but they'll also work as a team. And we'll show you as we get together. We'll do a little bit of jog work. Take the middle, you know? It can be the squash marshmallow. Now, you can see from the way we sit, we don't use rising trot because the horses aren't bouncy enough to need to do rising trot. A lot of English horses, if you tried to sit to their trot, would make your teeth rattle in your head. And certainly if you were going to do it for 2 or 3 hours at a time. And then other horses actually need pinning to the floor so they don't run away. But these horses are actually comfortable. Within the tack, the way the tack distributes your weight through the saddle, it means it's comfortable for the horse and the rider just to continue on and work in the jog. Alright, it makes my voice wobble, but that's about it. Exchange information, and then you might need to split apart and do other things. Now there's one other pace that we use which is called lope, which is very similar to canter. But again, it just uses the mechanics of the horse. We still have speed and turning and all of that, but it's actually very comfortable. And again, sustainable for hours and hours at a time. And these are the things you can learn if you come to us at Southern Schoolmasters. We can show you how to join up with a horse. See, told you with switching. Now there's one thing that we do like to try. And when people first come to us, they're amazed at how responsive these horses are. Particularly in how well they're able to stop and how well they're able to reverse. Brakes through your feet. Right. Now for everyone that went, no, we'll show you again. If we just walk forwards again. Now watch. No reins, just feet. How nice is that? Now that system works no matter how fast you're going. Hopefully we can demonstrate that in a minute. But it's nothing to do with tension on the horse's mouth. It is a pressure line from the feet that the horse is taught to respond to. Same contact points as English. You're still looking at a horse and a human riding together. But the communication is a little bit different. Right, let's try that again. Just feet, no reins. Now, do you know what? This would be a bit easier if we got a bit of help. When we come to halt, if you guys can shout, whoa, it's actually quite helpful. I think the horses will probably hear you better than they hear our feet. What do you reckon? Alright, so this time you guys are going to say whoa. Can we hear a practice? Whoa?
Whoa.
Oh, come on, all together. Whoa! Alright, let's try that again. Okay, you ready? Okay, no feet, no hands. Ready? Now!
Whoa!
No, it wasn't loud enough. I think we need to do that one again. Alright, let's try that again. We'll just walk up here. Or jog. Okay. You ready? 3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
Oh, now that sounds better. I reckon if they're so good at getting us to stop, they can probably get us to go as well. But first of all, I want to show you how easy these horses are to reverse. The one thing here, one more.
Yeehaw!
Alright then, that's better. Okay, so what's going to happen is that you guys are going to say yeehaw and we're going to go. But then someone better yell whoa when we get to the other end. Well, there's going to be some very flat people down there. How safe do you feel? Okay guys, you ready? We have a yeehaw! Oh, no, it's got to be better. Come on, yeehaw! Alright, that's it. Come on. What about a whoa?
Whoa!
It's funny how just this side said whoa. As the horses are bearing down on them. Okay, can we have another yeehaw?
Yeehaw!
Okay, come on, whoa! Definitely left at this end. They